Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something seriously exciting. We're talking about taking your hard work, all those awesome projects you've poured your energy into, and finally sharing them with the world. You know, you've done the research, you've built the models, and now it's time for the big reveal. But how exactly do you go from a finished project sitting in your classroom to a fully functioning public exhibition without, well, completely losing your mind? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So, let's kick things off with a pretty simple question. Are you truly ready to share your hard work? I mean, sure, you've likely shared some elements of your work with other students or your teachers during a class presentation, or maybe even at a school assembly. But taking that next massive step, inviting your family, your friends, and the wider community to see your work at a dedicated event like the KAUSHAL MELA, that requires a whole different level of preparation.
But hold on. Before we start printing out those invites and telling everyone to show up, we really have to look at this crucial point straight from our source text. It says, planning is essential, since it helps you decide how to reach your goal. You really have to think about exactly what needs to be done and precisely when it needs to be done, just to make sure everything actually goes smoothly. Basically, to avoid absolute chaos on the big day, and trust me, nobody wants chaos, we absolutely must plan out every single detail.
To keep things organized, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Welcome to KAUSHAL MELA. 2. Why you must plan. 3. The 7 planning stages. 4. Mastering the essential details. And 5. After the main event.
All right, Section 1. Welcome to KAUSHAL MELA. Time to show off your skills. Moving right along to Section 2. Why you must plan. Preventing chaos and saving resources. Look, you might be tempted to just roll up on the day of the event, set up a table, and totally wing it, but event timing is incredibly complex. Getting every single activity done at the right time is just absolutely crucial for your success, mainly because different activities have drastically different timelines. Think about it like this. On one hand, you've got tasks that need time to gather materials. For example, if you're demonstrating home automation, you have to make sure all your physical materials are gathered in one place in the exact right quantities. On the other hand, you have activities that depend entirely on other people. You literally cannot start your task until your teammate completely finishes theirs. So, what's the bottom line here? Whether you're planning a presentation on community water usage, where you have to carefully pick the absolute best time and place so the maximum number of people can actually watch it, or you're just physically setting up a stall, planning is what ensures it all happens smoothly. It fundamentally prevents the wastage of both your time and your resources, which guarantees you can actually pull off your ultimate goal.
Okay, Section 3, the 7 planning stages, your visual roadmap to success.
Just take a look at this. The whole process is actually a complete 7-step cyclical journey. It starts way back at the chalkboard with that first little light bulb moment in Step 1, flows all the way through your preparation and the big event day, right down to literally sweeping the floors in Step 7. An event isn't just one single day. It is a continuous, living process.
Let's zoom in on those first few phases, shall we? First up, you've got to ideate. In Step 1, brainstorming, we see students outlining project ideas like woodworking, a water audit, or even hydroponics. Then, in Step 2, they map it all out on a timeline by locking down dates on a calendar. By Step 3, they're building out a checklist, jotting down their immediate tangible needs, things like posters, labels, and the physical invitations. It's just a really logical progression from a thought to scheduling time to gathering physical items.
Which brings us to Section 4, mastering the essential details, breaking down the giant checklist. Okay, to actually pull this event off, the chapter gives us a super detailed list of specific tasks. Let's make it easy and break them down into distinct buckets. Bucket number 1, logistics and setup. These are basically the physical foundation blocks of your whole event space. Before anything else, you absolutely need the basics: the date, the time, and the venue. Then you have to figure out your additional support, like are you going to need electricity, extra tables, or computer access? You've also got to manage the physical space itself. That means setting up displays, putting up decorations, organizing where people will sit, and, this is a big one, creating clear signboards so people actually know where the entry points and the toilets are.
Next up, bucket number 2. Guest experience and safety. Because, you want everyone showing up to be comfortable and, most importantly, safe. This bucket is all about figuring out your guest list and how those invitations are going to be designed and sent out. On the actual day of the MELA, this means managing the guest registration desk, enforcing safety precautions, setting up a clearly marked first aid station just in case, and staying on top of cleanliness and waste management.
And hey, don't forget, you also need a system for collecting guest feedback so you can figure out what worked and what didn't.
And finally, bucket number 3, the actual event execution. You've got to lock down the main stage and presentation details. I mean, this is the core of the KAUSHAL MELA. This covers exactly how the work is going to be presented. Are you using project documentation, posters, or maybe cool journey videos? It also means you have to prepare the master schedule for the entire event, assign your anchors, write out their scripts, and make 100% sure the stage setup and sound equipment are actually working. Literally every single minute of the event must be accounted for.
And our final section today, Section 5, after the main event. The job isn't done when the guests leave.
Now you might be thinking, awesome, the final applause just faded, the last guest walked out the door, I am totally done. Well, not quite. As the source material makes super clear, post-event activities are just as important as the prep work. Your plan actually has to include time and assigned roles for cleaning up the venue after the whole thing wraps up. This takes real teamwork to return any equipment you borrowed, safely take out all the accumulated waste, and finally sit down together to review all that great guest feedback you collected. Simply put, the job isn't done until the space looks exactly like it did when you found it.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final, pretty powerful question straight from the chapter to reflect on for your next big project. At the end of the KAUSHAL MELA, honestly ask yourself, was your preparation adequate? Did your plan actually hold up? Making a solid list of tasks along with the time and resources you'll need is the absolute key to achieving your goals. Ask yourself this question every single time, and I promise you, your future events are going to be smoother, better, and way more successful. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, good luck with all your planning.